The morning air inside NBC's Studio 6A was electric, charged with the kind of excitement that always accompanied a special guest on Today with Jenna and Friends. The familiar jingle played as cameras rolled, lights shimmered, and the audience clapped in anticipation. Kelly Clarkson, chart-topping singer, talk show host, and beloved public figure, was the day's highlight. Dressed in a soft green floral dress that moved like spring itself, Kelly looked radiant, ready to charm the crowd as always. Jenna Hager, glowing with her trademark enthusiasm, greeted her at center stage with a hug. "Y'all, please welcome the one and only, Kelly Clarkson," Jenna announced. The crowd roared with cheers, signs flashing Kelly's name, phones recording every second. "Girl, it's early, but y'all got me hyped already," Kelly laughed, waving to the audience as she took her seat. The energy was warm, authentic, two Southern women sharing laughs over coffee and career highs. The first segment flowed effortlessly. Kelly talked about her new album Open Heart, describing it as the most personal music I've ever written. She spoke of long nights in the studio, the emotional tug of war between vulnerability and resilience. Jenna nodded along, genuinely moved. "You've always had this gift of turning heartbreak into healing," she said. "It's why people love you." Kelly smiled, grateful. "Music's therapy, you know. For me and hopefully for whoever listens." The crowd applauded again. Everything was going perfectly, until the conversation shifted. "So, Kelly," Jenna began, glancing at her notes, "you've been through a lot of personal changes the past few years, your divorce, new projects, managing motherhood, running your own show, how do you balance it all?" Kelly's shoulders tensed slightly, but she kept her smile. "It's chaos sometimes," she admitted. "But I try to focus on what matters most, my kids and staying grounded." That could have been the perfect segue to move on, but Jenna pressed further. "I know the tabloids love to exaggerate," she said lightly, "but there've been some stories about your work environment, people saying it's tense behind the scenes. What do you say to that?" The air shifted instantly. You could almost hear the collective inhale from the audience. Kelly blinked, caught off guard. I wasn't expecting that one," she said, laughing nervously. "Oh, come on," Jenna said quickly, trying to keep it casual. "You know we love to get the real scoop here." Just clearing the air, Kelly tilted her head, the corners of her smile tightening. "I'm all for being real, Jenna," she said slowly, "but there's a difference between being real and being cornered." The laughter in the room fell flat. Jenna's expression flickered, half regret, half stubborn professionalism. "I didn't mean it that way, Kel. It's just, people talk, and you're one of the most open people I know. I figured you'd want to address it." Kelly's eyes darkened slightly. "You figured wrong," she said, her voice even but edged with calm defiance. "I've already addressed that privately. I'm not here to defend myself for something that's been blown out of proportion by people who've never even met me." The camera operators hesitated. Was this still good TV or a brewing disaster? Jenna forced a smile, trying to recover. "You're right, you're totally right, let's move on." But Kelly wasn't done. She leaned slightly forward, her tone firm but steady. "Jenna, I've known you for a long time. I came here today because I trust you. But if this is what we're doing now, turning interviews into interrogations, maybe I need to rethink where I spend my mornings." That line hit hard. The audience fell dead silent. Even Jenna's co-hosts, seated off to the side, looked stunned. Jenna's cheeks flushed pink as she stammered, "Kelly, that's not what this is. I promise, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable." Kelly exhaled slowly, her jaw tightening as she tried to compose herself. "You didn't make me uncomfortable," she said at last. "You just reminded me why I stopped doing certain kinds of interviews." She paused, looking down for a moment before rising from her chair. "I think I need a break." The sound of her heels clicking against the studio floor echoed like a gavel strike. She walked steadily off stage, her face unreadable, while Jenna reached out instinctively. "Kelly, wait, please." But Kelly didn't turn around. The audience gasped as the producers abruptly cut to a commercial break. Behind the scenes, chaos erupted. Crew members whispered frantically. Jenna sat frozen, her usual bright composure replaced with a look of disbelief and guilt. "What just happened?" she murmured, her voice breaking slightly. Meanwhile, Kelly was backstage, hands trembling as she paced near the dressing rooms. "I came to talk about my music," she muttered to her publicist. "Not to defend my name. I'm done." When the show returned, Jenna faced the camera alone, her voice shaky but sincere. "We love Kelly Clarkson," she said softly. Sometimes conversations take unexpected turns. We wish her nothing but the best. The statement was meant to smooth things over, but it only fanned the flames. For the first time in today's usually sunny history, the audience had witnessed something raw, uncomfortable, and painfully real. And the world was about to talk about it. Part 2 extended to 700 words. By noon that same day, the clip of Kelly Clarkson walking off today with Jenna and friends had spread across social media like wildfire. Every platform, from X formerly Twitter to TikTok to Instagram, was ablaze with speculation, fan reactions, and endless replays of the now infamous moment. The hashtag Kelly walks off trended globally within hours. Viewers had divided into two camps almost instantly. Some defended Kelly, calling her brave and graceful under fire, while others insisted Jenna had simply been doing her job. Comment sections were flooded with passionate debates. One user wrote, "Kelly handled that like a queen. Boundaries matter, even on live TV." Another countered, "Jenna didn't say anything cruel, why are people acting like she attacked her?" In NBC's sleek glass-walled offices overlooking Rockefeller Plaza, chaos reigned. The producers of Today were scrambling. Phone lines rang non-stop. The network's PR department was drafting official statements, carefully worded to diffuse tension without assigning blame. "We need to make this sound neutral," one executive insisted. "No villains, just a misunderstanding." But behind the polished walls, Jenna Bush Hager was a mess. She sat in her dressing room, head in her hands, replaying the segment again and again on her phone. Each time, her stomach knotted tighter. She had seen the moment Kelly's expression shifted, the moment laughter gave way to hurt. "I shouldn't have asked that question," Jenna whispered to herself. "Why did I push it?" She hadn't meant to ambush Kelly. She'd simply wanted a moment of honesty, something unscripted that would connect with viewers. But she had forgotten that unscripted could sometimes mean uncomfortable. Across town, Kelly's team gathered in her hotel suite. Her phone buzzed non-stop with texts, emails, and calls from journalists seeking a comment. Her manager placed a tablet in front of her. "You might want to see this," he said. It was a video montage of the morning's incident, every angle, every headline, every reaction. Kelly watched silently, arms crossed, eyes tired. Finally, she sighed. "I'm not saying anything," she said. Firmly. "No statements, no interviews. The truth doesn't need me to defend it." Her team exchanged uneasy glances. They knew that silence could be powerful, but it could also let rumors spiral. Still, Kelly held her ground. "I'm not turning something painful into clickbait," she said softly. "I'm done letting people twist my words." Meanwhile, Jenna returned to the Today set the following morning, her smile notably subdued. When the cameras went live, she took a deep breath. "Before we start today's show," she began, her tone calm but heavy, "I want to say something." Her co-hosts fell silent. "Yesterday, during my interview with Kelly Clarkson, I asked questions that crossed a line. I didn't mean to put her on the spot, and I'm deeply sorry. Kelly's someone I admire and respect more than words can say. I let the moment get away from me." It was heartfelt and raw. The clip of her apology spread nearly as fast as the original walk-off. Fans praised her humility. Even those who had criticized her softened, acknowledging the courage it took to publicly admit fault. But the question everyone was asking remained, would Kelly forgive her? Days passed. Kelly kept quiet, pouring her focus into her tour. At a sold-out show in Nashville, she finally broke her silence, not through a statement, but through a brief moment on stage. Midway through the concert, between songs, she spoke to the crowd. "Sometimes," she said, holding her mic with both hands, "you get asked questions that hit wounds you thought were healed. And when that happens, you've got two choices, react, or protect your peace. I chose peace." The crowd erupted in cheers, chanting her name. Kelly smiled softly, adding, "There's no hard feelings, just boundaries. And that's okay." The video of her words went viral overnight, reigniting the conversation, but this time, with more compassion. People began seeing the situation for what it truly was. Two women navigating the fragile balance between honesty and privacy in a world that demanded constant access. Weeks later, fate, or perhaps NBC scheduling, brought them both to the same charity gala in Los Angeles. The event, filled with celebrities and flashing cameras, buzzed with whispers that Kelly and Jenna might run into each other tonight. And they did. It happened near the bar, away from the red carpet glare. Jenna saw Kelly first, her heart racing. She hesitated before walking over. "Hey," she said softly, her voice uncertain. Kelly turned, surprised but not cold. "Hey," she replied, her tone measured but kind. For a moment, silence stretched between them. Then Jenna spoke, words tumbling out faster than she intended. "I'm so sorry for that interview. You didn't deserve that. I thought I was being honest and ended up being invasive. I let the moment get the better of me." Kelly studied her, then smiled faintly. "You owned it," she said. "That's what matters. We all make mistakes, it's how we handle them that counts." Jenna nodded, eyes glassy. "I miss laughing with you," she admitted. "Maybe someday we'll do that again," Kelly said gently. "When it's not about ratings, just real talk." They didn't hug, but they didn't need to. In that quiet exchange, the tension melted away. Two women who had been pitted against each other by headlines found peace on their own terms. Though Kelly never returned to Today, at least not yet, fans sensed the door wasn't completely closed. Both women had grown from the experience. The walk-off that once shocked the world had evolved into a story about boundaries, forgiveness, and grace under pressure. And in a media world addicted to conflict, that, ironically, became the most powerful moment of all.